Why do you look so grumpy?
Shut up.
Hello, crazy guineas. Must be up to something. Hello, chickens. You must be up to something. Yeah, clearly been through some training. Pivoted and ran back the other way. Swales all have water in them, so this clearly worked. Something up here smells like hamster piss. So it's Sunday, probably 11 or 12. Amanda and I are about to run to Jackson, get some lunch, hit Tractor Supply, and hit Home Depot and Lowe's. Looking for willow trees. So we're gonna take the truck and the trailer. The 4Runner will pull the trailer just fine, but the 4Runner plug to control the brakes and the lights and stuff is just in a weird place, so you've got to actually almost lay on the ground to get to it. So it's just easier to take the truck, but if you have to, the 4Runner will definitely pull it. We just need to address that and wire it up in a little different direction. These are all full of water, so the swales clearly worked. This one's still holding some water, even though we got very little rain. This one has some water. This one's got some water. This one not holding any water, but it's definitely wet. I mean, it worked. That's good, good. Good, 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 good. Now let's take a look at our trees that we've put in real quick. Amanda's probably waiting on me. I don't see any love on these. I don't see any growth on these. Doesn't mean they won't, but these ones up here, oh, some of these have actually snapped off completely. Like the wind busted them down, so they might not make it at all. We'll know in a few days. And we also know how to put them in, so if I have to replace them, they're, you know, $1, $2 a piece. But some of these little suckers were up to 7, and I would have said these were all dead. Oh, here's another one, 8 right here, 9 right here, 10. So just a couple days and a little bit of water was the magic number, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. Some of these others, maybe they'll pull off some miracles or work some magic. And if not, then, I mean, we just pull them out and pop new ones in. This late in the year, most of the farms won't have cheapies. They'll only have like bigger plants, which you'll pay up to, you know, $3, $4, $5 a piece for. But do what you gotta do. Do we believe hard times are coming? Do we believe that it's possible that feed will get harder and harder to get? If you believe that at all, what's it matter then, right? Even if you're just gonna put in a few hundred trees, $5 a piece, $1,000 to do it, are you better off spending the 1,000, or do you wanna roll those dice and wait till next year when you can spend, you know, 300? Blueberries up here kicking good. I have not given any of these guys down here water, but you can see just how big some of these are really coming in. I saw some huge ones in here. And these will double, if not triple in size. This is a new tree we put in this year, bush. It was taken out of somewhere else, so there's some damage to the roots, but I mean, it's still growing. It's growing well. It's putting off new growth. And we planted these much further away from the fence so that you can mow around them. Whereas these, I planted them to where we could mow around them, or what I thought we could mow around, but I should have moved them at least 2 more feet, because when they're under blueberries, the branches hang low, so you really can't get around them very well. Got everything up here done right now. I just have to go move the chicks, the new chicken tractor. Driving around last night, I probably made 30 runs in here with the skid steer, and it did a lot of damage, right? It flattened all that grass and clover, started wearing some tracks. Looking at it this morning after it rained, it's kind of popped back to life. This field here, I mowed 2 weeks ago, and you can see there's tons of seed heads, clover, looks like Bermuda, some fescue, a lot of different grasses in here. But this will be good for the sheep because we're going to put the sheep in a 10 by 20 tractor, and we'll only have 2 or 3 of them in there. But we'll move it back and forth all through here, as well as in the back and out in the front here also. So we'll have plenty of room. We'll be able to run these things, move it every day, or if not twice a day, and they won't recross for at least half the year. And with the sheep, well, for the most part, we'll stop mowing all of this because we want it to grow up and make feed. Most of this stuff here is that you see, this tall scraggly stuff's clover and some different types of grass. Every time I moved the rabbits last year, I would throw down deer forage and white clover and red clover, and it's really done well here. Especially having these berms, these gate entrances here, it kind of holds the seed in place. A lot of it washed down and into the culvert, and that's what all this here is. When this floods, it kind of washes all the debris up on the shores here, and it grew all this clover. None of this clover was here 2 years ago. You can see that edges of the tractor are a little damp, but in the middle, completely dry. Some guineas up here, there's something up here they're interested in. They've been out here the whole time I've been out here. These two, I think they're eating clover. Hey, beautiful lady. What's up, sugar pussy? Yo, babe.
Yo, babe.
Where are we going?
To Jackson to eat and to get trees.
Trees. Yep, trees. How come, I need to clarify something. When I messaged you, I said, we're taking the truck and trailer to get trees, and you did this thumbs down thing. What's that all about?
Because I don't like to drive this truck.
Why?
It doesn't cup my butt.
Okay, let me point something out to you. You used to drive a Suburban.
I hated that
and
too.
An Excursion.
Yep, didn't like that
and
one either.
A Dodge.
Yep.
And you drove that Super Duty F-250. And you drove the Suburban for like 5 years.
And now I'm
that old ass Suburban.
Now I'm spoiled, and I like a seat that cups my butt.
You think there's tough times coming?
Yep.
There might come a time when you don't even have a truck to drive. Like, they might just not work. You might have to use like a dog in a cart or a wheelbarrow.
Or a bicycle, yeah.
Think your butt's gonna feel good then?
Oh no, I hate riding a bike.
We can get you a fat girl seat.
I've had a fat girl seat. It didn't do any good.
We can get you one of those big gel seats. I can have somebody weld up so you have 2 seats, one for each side. A double butt seat. Truck drives nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Will you be happier with the truck after you eat?
I don't know.
These tanks are cool. I wonder how much they are. I'll bet they're 2,500 bucks.
Probably.
$1 a gallon, probably.
Said they're made in the USA even.
Yeah.
That's impressive. There's a runaway cart.
Oh shit, yeah, it sure is.
Bam!
You want to get ice cream?
No.
Let's go over to PetSmart, see if they have any ice cream that I want. We could have pumpkin spice latte.
You could have pumpkin spice latte. I'll just try.
Caramel apple cider.
I do like apple cider.
PetSmart, that's where the pets shop. $270 for 4 bags of 35-pound bags. back at the Home Depot, Lowe's had no willows. I think we'll get 3 in case you kill one. 3 weeping willows. Holy weeping willows. That's fine. I need that. Yeah, I need that for Tad. CB1. Why you look so grumpy?
Shut up.
Come on, Grumple Stillskin. Chili bushes. Okay, so back at the compound, 6:30, and we got some rain while we were gone apparently. I came down here with a shovel. I've been watching videos on UBCO bikes, UBCO, electric bikes. Both hubs have a 1,000-watt motor, and you can get a couple different batteries. They run anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000. They've got all kinds of panniers and cases and racks, and you can ride 2 up and stuff. Pretty cool. Anyways, dug this because this was always holding water right here, and I don't want it to hold water here. The water all comes downhill for the most part here, and I want it to travel. So immediately I just cut this cut. It's mostly gravel here, and I got that water running. And the big question was this trench that I worked on 2 weeks ago, was it going to flow? And it did. We apparently had enough rain that it did function all the way. And then by the time we got back, there were pools. It was just holding water in a few places. It wasn't enough to use its own water pressure to move the free dirt. What I'm after is, I don't want it to back up and go into the parking lot, because the parking lot still tapers this way a little. So the water does run through the gravel in this direction, and I don't want it to move enough gravel. I don't want it to puddle up. So it is working still, because I didn't really touch this at all. The question was whether this here was going to cause this to back up. And it might have a little bit because there's some water there. But I kind of came down and started cutting through here a few places. It ran through, there's a high spot. I want it to move kind of slowly. Here, I cut here, cut through here, cut all this out of here. Did some cutting there. And that's just with the, spade shovel. And then there's a few more there, cut there, a few here. And within a couple months, this whole trench will be full of clover and grass and stuff, and it'll slow it down quite a bit. A little pool there, I'll do a little cut there. I'd rather have the water kind of stay here and soak in, but down here there's just too much water for it to soak in. And then I've got this mess here. The dam's leaking, and it's kind of coming here because it rained. It evacuated through here, but it's the pond water is flooding this way. So I think I'm gonna take the skid steer and just do a little V-cut, boom, 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 and just run it down here. I might even use the John Deere and just use I have a box blade that has spikes, and just use a single spike and just kind of trench it to evacuate the water. But we were able to get some willow trees there in the trailer, and I was after 2. I went ahead and got 3, and I'm gonna pop one there, and over there. A buddy of mine said you got to put a key line in when you're doing a dam. You can't just build a dam. You can't pile dirt, pile dirt, pile dirt. You got to put a key line, which is basically a V trench, and you put your footing and then you build off of the footing basically. But once we get that in, we might lose those trees, but we can just take those trees, pull them out of the ground and replant them somewhere else, and it's almost impossible to kill willow trees. Those trees up top there that are growing like crazy right now, even though they should be dead, every one of those is a willow. So here's a hole. I was spraying Roundup, all the weeds here, and I think a little bit got onto a couple of these trees over here because it was just the trees on the end. But you can see it's starting to put fresh shoots out here. So as long as we water these things, I think they'll keep going and make a comeback. This here is I'm not sure what this is. I'll have to look at one of the others to see. We got peaches and we got apples. I think we have enough spots for 73, and I only have about 20, so we'll have to. We'll see if that thing sits there or not. What you don't want to do is pile this up any higher than where the tree was. And that's where it came out of this pot. That's the actual potted soil there. You don't want to build a volcano around this thing. And as this rots down, this will just be super fertile, moist soil, even when everything else isn't. And if we ever have to come through and just give them supplemental water with hose, they'll hold water for months once we water them one time. And then this spigot over here, this is actually a spigot. There's a pipe that runs in and skims the bottom of the pond, and then at 90 degrees up, and then it's got a couple extenders. When we bust that open, it pulls water about 6 feet under the water, and if it runs down, we can take another section out and go another 6, and then like another 6, right, to make 18 feet. So it's still 2 feet above the base, because it's about 20 in the shallowest, I think. So that's what that is. So we can move water anywhere from there downhill to the bottom edge of the bottom property back there through hoses. We could also go to the very top pond, the little frog pond up there, which is always in the shade. We lose very little water even when it's hot out of that pond, and we can use siphon anywhere on the property from there. The ponds were all set up in place just so that if we ever have to water anything, we have a ton of surface water holding, and anytime it rains, all of the rain collects. It'd be great to have some way to take all of this water, because when it really rains, it rips fast through here. It really evacuates quickly. It'd be nice to have a way to capture some of that water as well. But right now, everything we have that holds water is full. We were just at Home Depot. They have some 2,500 gallon water tanks for $2,000, which is a pretty good deal. I see 3,000s. And you can get a 3,000 for a little more. The footprint's the same, so you can go higher, right? And collect off downspouts. Like the downspout on this building here is that very top edge is the downspout, and then those downs coming down, or the gutter is the top edge horizontal. You can see I got some bushes growing in there right there. That downspout's clogged. It's from birds. They put seeds in there. And then the verticals are the downspouts. But as long as your tank is higher, we could collect right off of that bottom corner. We could disconnect here, kick it up a little bit, and then fill, and then have a tank right there on that front corner. We could have a tank on every one of these downspouts if we wanted to. And what I'm saying is the 2,500 gallon water tank is about this tall. So you could put a 3,000 or even a 4,000 there and fill those suckers up. I got to do the math. You can get 3,000 and 4,000 gallon tanks, but I can't get them local here. So the question is, how much more does it cost to have them shipped? uswatertanks.com, I think, is the website, and they got everything. And you'll see 3,000 gallon tanks that are like 2,500, and you'll see some that are 5. And what's the difference? The difference is the thickness and the material they're made out of, durability, right? Is some asshole kid gonna shoot those things with a BB gun? If they're out here, is some driver going to hit that tank? You know, how durable is it? We'll see how these look over the next couple days. Probably gonna have to wire them. Figure we'll make some, take some old pieces of hose, make some loose loops, wire it to the fence, wire it out maybe in 2 pegs, 2 legs, kind of like a Y, one that way, one this way, one this way. Give those roots a chance to go down and give these wood chips a chance to rot down some and become a little more solid. Here's Bugs down here. My guess is he's down here eating poop, which they seem to do for some reason, and maybe pellet that fell through the grates. And I've heard rabbits will mate through wire too. What are you doing down here? Huh? What are you doing? At least he didn't do that pee thing, but you can see where he's pawing through here, which is weird because there's grass and stuff to eat everywhere. But he's always digging through poop. He's starting to get like some dreadlocks on his nose. Weirdo. So the plan is to have a tree every second post. I haven't measured these. I think these are 8s, might be 10. So 16, 20 feet apart. And then we'll pop one in every second fence post. All those that way too. And I've always kind of thought we could even terrace this hill, meaning we could bring in a dozer or something, scrape it flat in thirds. So there's actually a wall or a mound, scrape it flat, little hill, flat, little hill, and then use that to grow in if we need to. Could also put row houses, because this is east, this is west, which means this whole way is south facing, which is why this building's perfect for solar. That rabbit house is perfect for solar. And if we terrace these level, it'd be easier to deal with the row houses. I mean, we could always level them inside the row house too, make pads, but we could put in 6, 7, 8 row houses this way, or a couple of really big ones. Just a little thought, trying to get some stuff done, have something to show for the weekend, something more, right? Everybody's always like, I want to do this. When you're having a conversation with a bunch of people, there's always dudes that are like, I want to do this, but I don't have time. You don't have time? I guarantee I'm doing 20 times more shit than the dude saying he don't have time. Because if he was so busy not having time, he definitely wouldn't have time to be in our conversation talking about not having time. And that's kind of what motivates me. I think about that shit. So I'd go inside, check the emails, and before you know it, an hour will go by on social media looking at people do shit that I should be doing, right? So I'm spending my time. That's what I'm doing. I got at least another hour, maybe 2 before sundown. So let's take a walk down here. Last night after dark, when I ran out of light, I moved the trailer here with the skid steer. I'm gonna drop a bunch more wood here. I want so much wood chips here that it kills off the weeds, chokes them out. Probably should go by there with a little scythe or something. I wonder if they have a little pulverizer thing that's battery powered. You can just touch the weed and you know, grind it up. But I put all these wood chips here, got all these in here, all of this and all of this, and I need a bunch more here. And then come through, once we're done with it, I'll rake all this gravel back into place by hand, a little cleaner. I just want to be real careful not to bump this with the skid steer. And then I've got a water line right here. But I really need to come in across here and drop a bunch here. Man, I wish you could feel that. You can feel it when he runs past. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We bought all this potting mix a couple weeks ago. It's not the best. It's not the cheapest either, but it's a fast way to fill those up and not have to fight weeds. Man, you always do the funniest things before the camera's on. I need to just put a camera on him. He'd figure out how to eat it though. You have really big ears. Man, I just got mud all over me off of him. Grass. I want you to grow out here. The dog drug all this stuff out here. Where'd your bone go? Where'd your bone go? Where'd your bone go? Huh? Where'd your bone go? Where'd your bone go? Smelly cat, smelly cat. Somebody's burning plastic. It's a very distinct smell when they're burning fiberglass or cable. They shouldn't be burning because they're stripping copper is what they're doing. Hello. Hello. His head's up over mine right now. So this fence is at least 4 feet tall. It's probably taller from ground to top rail right here. you leave him out here, he inevitably finds something to chew on. Like he'll chew these hoses apart. God, that smells really strong, that burning plastic smell. It's crackheads. It's always crackheads.
Man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive. Yeah.